New Zealand is bigger than it may look like on a map. Sometimes it can take hours to get from point A to point B. So you should plan in advance when you're planning a work and travel adventure in New Zealand how you will get around. More tips about this topic in the Work and Travel series here on Travel Tips.
Hi, I'm Nico from Germany. In the past year I traveled New Zealand, Australia and Thailand, and I instantly liked traveling so much. That's why I share my experiences, tips and recommendations in short and helpful tutorials with you here on Travel Tips.
People think of hitchhiking when they think of backpacking and traveling on a budget. And it's definitely the cheapest option to get around. Just thumbs up, get on the road and someone of the Kiwis will pick you up, because Kiwis are really open, really polite, really friendly, and yeah, I saw many people doing hitchhiking in New Zealand and they got their lifts and got to the destination where they wanted to go, and it's an option, but you're not as flexible because you never know if you get yeah, a free ride and if it is on the right time and in the right direction. So it's something for adventurer, but it is an option to get around in New Zealand. Another useful thing is Facebook. You can just join groups about work and travel and yeah, ask them for lift offers, or you will see lift offers many times in Facebook groups and posts, and you can see if it fits and share petrol money and often some stories and get to know new people while doing these lifts. And yeah, it's an option which is really cheap compared to other, like buying a car or go on a bus hop on hop off ticket. Another thing many people don't even have in their mind is booking flights. Air New Zealand is the airline of New Zealand, and there are short distance and a little longer distance flights available, sometimes at low cost, sometimes at high costs. You can compare them using, for example, Skyscanner. Can definitely recommend Skyscanner. Link is in the I can definitely recommend Skyscanner, link is in the description down below, where you can sometimes find really good options to fly from one point to another in New Zealand and see the beautiful landscape from above. Buying a car in New Zealand is the most common option to get around. I hear from so many people that they would like to buy a car when they arrive in New Zealand. And for me it was a good option. I also bought a car, Toyota Hiace, a camper van with 3 other people. Buying a car is a good idea when you're traveling not alone but in a small group, because you can share the price for fuel and you have a price for the car itself. Buying a car in New Zealand gives you the ultimate freedom. You can decide where you want to go and when you want to go. That's really great compared to all the other options you have in New Zealand to get around. But buying a car also has its difficulties, because buying a car can be expensive and selling it can be not as easy as you might think. We had really big problems when we tried to sell our car, because we were not in the right season to sell it, and we just got a little bit back from our investment we did when we bought the car. So buying a car has its advantages and its disadvantages. So if your car breaks, you have to pay, and that's not always cheap. But with an AA membership you can get around with this problem, yeah, because you will be rescued, but the AA membership also costs a little bit of money, so you should take this into consideration. Another thing is really great about the car, that you have your accommodation with you. Your car is your accommodation. You live in the car, you live with the car, and that's great because you don't have to pay money for hostels, but for campsites sometimes. But there are also many free campsites available. When it comes to buying a car, there are also some things you should know, and I yeah, produced a video about it, linked in the card in the upper right corner right now in this video. You should watch it if you consider buying a car in New Zealand, which is a good choice if you're not alone and if you're in a group and if you want the ultimate freedom to get around in New Zealand. Another really popular option is to go by bus in New Zealand. New Zealand has a very developed bus system. For example, there's the intercity bus. It's more like a bus on schedule, so where for people which are not just travelers but also for business people and for Kiwis in New Zealand. So if you choose intercity, you are more into intercity connections and not about traveling and the most cinematic or scenic spots in New Zealand. A better choice for you as a traveler would be Stray or Kiwi Experience. Both are really comparable, but they have their differences. So Stray advertises with we are off the beaten track. So we are sometimes at spots where the touristy paths are not really coming by, and that could be a good option if you are a landscape enthusiast and you really like to be on scenic spots. Kiwi Experience is more about partying, about getting to know new people, and if that's the thing for you, if that fits you perfectly, you should go with Kiwi Experience. The price of the hop-on hop-off ticket you will buy depends on your travel length and your route. So you have to know how long you will need the bus pass and where you will be going. If you know this, you can choose the right pass for you. It's about 800 in New Zealandian dollars for Kiwi Experience and 1,000 for Stray, but it depends, and you should definitely look for offers and for discounts, because normally you pay too high prices if you're not paying the discounted price. So just look for offers for the bus connections. It is a good option to go and to explore New Zealand and to get to know new people, but it also has disadvantages. For example, you have to look at the schedule. You can't stay at one place where the bus just stops for a minute or so. You can't stay well longer if you want to, and it's not as flexible, but you don't have to worry about anything, because when the bus breaks down, it's not your fault, not your responsibility, and you're out of charge, and that's really good. But when I traveled in Australia with a bus, I really liked it because it's flexible and you can book your trips just hours in advance. But you will miss that freedom, you will miss that opportunity to go where you want, exactly in the moment when you want. You see, you have so many possibilities to get around in New Zealand. Which one is perfect for you? Write it in the comments below. I'm really interested to see what you will choose after watching this video. If you want to be well prepared for your New Zealand work and travel adventure, it would be a good idea to watch more videos here in the Work and Travel playlist on travel tips, or subscribe to the channel for upcoming tutorials about traveling and backpacking adventures.